Hey everyone, Brett with Adjusterpedia.com. Today I'm going to show you how to use the room tool in Sketch to draw your elevations to account for replacing siding, brick veneer, whatever it might be. So I have a house here. I'm going to go ahead and dimension the front of this. So we're going to use like I said, the room tool. Oops, let me go ahead and we're just going to minimize that so we have a reference, so everyone has a reference. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start over here. So you have one square section and then you have a little section here with a window that vaults up. So you have a little peak here and then another section where it peaks actually, and then a slope down with another window and a square section here. I do know that it is 9 feet from the bottom here to up here. So we're going to start with just this little 9 foot by, what do I have? It looks like 3'4" area. So like I said, we're going to use the room tool. And what we need to do when we use the room tool to dimension, go into properties, and the wall thickness we're going to put at 0. Ceiling height, I'm going to hit 0. It's going to default back to 4 inches, which is fine. It won't mess up any of the dimensioning. So let's start by, say this was 3 feet 4 inches wide. And pull that down, and we're going to call that 9 feet. So that's our first little dimension of this little area right here. Now we got to go with our slope. And I know, excuse me, it's the same 3'4". So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click in here. I am going to hit Control, left mouse click, and oops, I missed it. Hit Control, left mouse click on that wall, and I'm going to pull over. So I created another room. Delete that one. There we go. Let's bring that back into focus here so we can see what we're doing. So both those rooms are 3'4", and the slope on this, I know the peak here is 11 feet. So I know this wall is 9 currently. So what I need to do is I'm going to take a snap line real quick, just as a reference. Excuse me, throw it on there. Then we're going to pull this up 2 feet to get our slope. We're going to come back, we're going to hit the Vortex tool. I'm going to come right back in here and I'm going to hit, oh boy, sometimes it gets a little flaky. Vortex. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually take this room, pull it away for now. So it might be trying to connect to both rooms. See if that helps. There we go. So now I got the Vortex handles. I'm going to left click. I'm going to drag that in so we have our pitch. You can see that to the top of the slope now is 11. And what I'm going to do with this actually is I'm going to highlight it. I'm going to hit Control C, Control V, and I'm just going to throw it over here. And while it's still highlighted, I'm going to go over here and hit Flip Horizontal. And so now I've got my room or my elevation here on this side. It's already complete. So let's move that out of the way though. The next thing we need to do, now that I have that room, let's build these rooms back together here as we go. or elevations, if you want to call it that. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hit Control C, Control V to copy that room. I'm going to post it here. And I know that the peak of this one is 12'3". So what we need to do is I'm going to move this over, snap it onto that. I'm going to go up to there, snap onto there. Let's move the handle down. So this is 4 feet. And we are going to have to, actually to get this, I'm going to bring it back down here. And what we need to do actually is use the break tool. It's a little bit different than just creating a slope because we're creating a peak. I'm going to break that room right in half. I'm going to take this side and I'm going to stretch it up 1'3". And I'm going to come back down and I'm going to use that Vortex tool and I'm going to come back on that snap line here, break it there, left click and hold, and I'm going to pull in, create our peak. Now I'm going to go and do the same thing over here. Left click, pull up to where we need to be. I'm going to click Vortex tool. And I'm at 1'3". Click there, left click and hold, pull it back down. Now I'm going to put these back together. The reason I separate them is sometimes that Vortex tool wants to grab onto one room and not the other, and vice versa. And boom. So now we got our front done. We just have to do this one section where the front door is. So again, I'm going to, let's go ahead and get rid of the snap line for now also. So highlight it and then click delete. I'm going to take this room and I'm going to hit Control C, Control C, Control V. Snap it right on here. Oops. And we're going to pull this out. And that dimension was, let me see, where's my dimension? Like 9'1". 9'1". And let's bring that all back into view. So now, the one thing we're missing though is the windows and the doors, or window and door on this front area. So this first section does not have one. This section has one, and it is a 2x5 window. So real quick, let's go ahead and highlight this little section here. And I'm going to click on Properties. And we are going to go down and look at the floor feet. It's 33.33 square feet. The reason I'm showing you this is I'm going to show how you use this area tool to create your window, which I said is 2 feet by, almost got it, 5 feet. And let's go ahead and try to move that in the center a little bit so it looks a little better. I don't have the dimensions on each side. And now to subtract this window from your area or your elevation area here, we're going to go in the properties of that area, and where you see it says hole, no, we want to click that and create a hole. So yes, we're creating a hole in the wall. So now if we go back to that elevation and we look at F for floor, it's actually the floor, because remember we're drawing room sketches here, but it's actually shown as elevation. So now if you look at floor, it says 22.92. So it did subtract for that window. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing I always do when I can, is highlight that, Control C, Control V, and I know this window over here was the same. Oh, we got actually 2.1, but it's actually 2. This middle window is 3.5. So what we'll do there is we'll just hit, actually I already have that window copied, so I'll hit Control V again, and I'm just going to throw it in here, and we're going to change it to 3 feet. Move it, and I'm going to hit Control V one more time, and let's just throw it over here for now so I can work with it. Now I'm just going to pull that down to account for that arched window at the top. Do it one more time. We'll hit Control V, and that door is 4.3 by 7.1, and we're going to pull that down. Nope, it didn't take my 7.1 for some reason. 7.1. There we go. So I just use that over and over, that Control V, because it already subtracts everything because the parameters are set for that area, and just adjust the size. So now you can see this whole front area is built. Next thing I'm going to do is the box for the garage. So let's sort of drag over and we'll shrink it a little bit. I'm going to start a whole new room here. Remember, you don't have to. I could have used Control V or Control C, Control V to use that on that room 1 here and copy it and then just move it over. But I'm just going to go over again one more time real quick. To go into properties, and you're going to wall thickness, zero it out. Ceiling height, zero it out. It's going to go to 4 as default. And now I know that that was 24 feet. Nope, that didn't work for some reason. Let's try that again. My fingers are a little too fast. Now, let me pull this over. Move this room over a little bit. It's not allowing it because it would go into the other room. Putting a room inside a room does not work real well in Xactimate. There we go. Move that down to 9 feet. And just for the looks of it, I know that there we go. I know this was about 5'4" from the elevation here to the elevation here. So I'm just offsetting it so you can see that there's an offset from the stairs coming down to here. Now I'm going to hit that Control V one more time because I still have that window saved, but it's not really going to be a window this time. It's just the area. And we are going to create a garage door, 8 by 7. And I actually am just going to hit Control V again on that one now, and Control C, so since I have the correct size, and just throw another one on here. See how it comes together pretty easily. Next, I'm going to go ahead and click in here. I'm going to hit Control, left click, drag up, and it is 7 feet roughly. Excuse me. From the top of this roof, this little shed roof, to the eave here. All this actually probably could move up a little bit, possibly. Now we'll just put it there for now. This is not exact. I'm just more or less demoing this for you so you can see what you need to do to draw an elevation with rooms. So we're going to do the same thing over here. As far as the brake tool, I'll show you what happens if you just use the Vortex for this pitch here. And I went ahead and I'm combining this area here where this left window is and this area, because it's, if you add this area and this area together, it's basically going to, if you pancake it together, not counting that this room sticks out a little bit here, this little wall on the side that's actually facing the left elevation, I will sketch when I sketch the left elevation of this house. Anyway, if we use the Vortex tool and I come down here and just drop it in halfway, left click and hold, I can get some angles, right? Now, if it was a perfect 12-12 pitch, boom, I'm done, because it will give me that, but it won't give me a lot. It gives me 2 snaps and that's it. So what I need to do is, I know from this eave to the peak is roughly 6 feet 11 inches. So what I need to do is hit the brake tool, divide that room in half, left click, and I'm going to pull up to 6 feet 11 inches. I'm going to use a snap line, and I'm just going to throw it over here just so I have a reference. And we are going to now use the Vortex tool, and I'm going to come back over here. What's going on here? So that is 7 feet, 14.1. Oh, that's our problem right there. This should be 6 feet 11. There we go. So now I'm going to use the Vortex tool. And I know that that's 6 feet 11 and up to the top. And I know that the elevation itself where the windows are 7 feet. So I'm going to put my Vortex tool here. And I'm going to go up to this corner, left click hold, drag it in, bang, and there's our pitch. Gonna ditto the same thing over here. Gonna come back, get that Vortex tool. I am going to click right there, bring that in, boom. Now I'm just gonna go over here and I'm gonna choose that window and hit Control C to copy, Control V to paste. I'm gonna throw a window up here, Control V, oops. Get out of there. Control V, another window, bang, and I'm done. So the nice thing about using the room tool for sketch is when I go to print and I'm going to just take a look at this report. It's not going to be a whole lot on it, obviously, because it's just a blank report. Let's see. It's going to take a little time. Oh, I didn't want to print. I just wanted to view. Now it's going to my printer. Now, I want to view. My fault is you can see when you use the room tool for sketch, you get a whole dimension of the front in your report. That's the nice thing about this compared to using the dimensions tool in the estimate tabs, and I will go over that in another video. So one last thing about using this or using these walls for elevations is you can combine it all and make them subgroups so it only shows up as one estimate item in your estimates folder. I've started to do that. You can see I still have 4 more rooms left, but most of it's is going into room 1. So if I go here and click on properties, I can make it a subgroup of room 1. Same with this one. make it a subgroup of room 1. And lastly, do this. Make it a subgroup of room 1. Now, if I go to my estimates, you can see all of it's room 1, so I can call that front elevation. And if we do, let's just go vinyl siding. There we go. We throw it all in there. It'll calculate. Now it's calculating walls. We don't want it to. That's one last thing, is you want it to calculate the floor because we're actually using walls. So now it's the correct square footage. 472.31 square feet will be applied toward the estimate for vinyl siding or removing and replacing the siding on the front elevation. So I hope this helps. Have a great day.